The abandonment wound isn't just about being left by someone. It is an emotional imprint created since your childhood that tell your nervous system that love is not safe, that connection will eventually be taken away from you one day. So your whole adult life, without you even realizing it, you're organizing yourself around this one fear. And it may manifest it as you people please to keep people close, or you shut down emotionally so the rejection cannot reach you, or you self-sabotage the relationship right when they start to get real. This is part one on the 4-part series on the abandonment wound. So in this series, we are going to cover how this wound is formed in your life, how to recognize it in your patterns and in your relationship, and how it does to your body and to your nervous system, and how can you heal from it. And I believe the abandonment wound is the core wounding of humanity. And this is the wound that keeps people most separate from themselves, from living the true potential in the relationship, and from living as love itself. So some example of how the abandonment wound will show up in your life will be like a constant, subtle monitoring of you observing the loved ones around you. So you observe their mood, their availability, and you observe how present they are with you. And this subtle monitoring of you is actually coming from your fear of them leaving you. So that's why you're always on guard, you know. So it's always you're looking for the subtle movement and subtle energy shift in your partners and the people around you. And it may also look like this hunger inside of you that never quite gets satisfied, you know. So you're always looking for reassurance from other people. You're always looking for connection, but coming from a place of lack. And you're looking for this confirmation that you're being chosen, so that you don't feel like you're being left alone. But even in moments that, you know, you're feeling like, oh, you got the reassurance, the people did come to you and they did say they love you. This relief is only temporary, and this hunger is keep returning and returning, and this safety inside of you is never get fulfilled, because what is actually happening is that it's a void, right, inside of you that is empty. Is that wounding that is never been healed. So this like constant reassurance and asking for reassurance is coming from that void that never got fulfilled. And it may also feeling like you are living a life that is quite disassociated. So you are slightly distant, you know, from the life that you're living in. And even, you know, you may seems like you're functional, it seems like you can able to enjoy life sometime, but some part of you is not quite fully landed. You don't allow yourself to be fully landed, because this part of you that is disassociated is the part of you that learned maybe from a long time ago that being fully present in your body is too risky. Because if you're fully landed in your body, which is mean that you fully feel everything inside of your body, right? You know, the scenario, the feelings, the emotion, and it's too much and it's too vulnerable. And perhaps one of the most painful part of the wound of this abandonment wound is that it will feel like this deep loneliness inside of yourself. So not the loneliness that when you're alone, but the loneliness is still alive even you're with your family, even you're with your loved ones, even with people that actually cares about you and show their affection towards you. So you're still feeling this like loneliness inside of you, that you don't feel quite held all the way. You don't feel that you're loved all the way, because this loneliness is coming from the belief that all of this love from an external person will leave you one day anyway. So if what I have been describing resonates something in you, that I want to let you know that all this energy I'm talking about is how the abandonment wounds show up in your life. And I truly believe that this wounding is one of the suffering of that's really rooted in the core of humanity, that it didn't quite get acknowledged enough. I think one of the reasons why the abandonment wounds stay hidden for so long is because we normalize it. We assume the way we are in life and in relationship is just the way we are. It's our upbringing, it's our personality, it's our attachment style. But I want to name it because this abandonment wound is actually affecting all areas of our life, way more than you can imagine. So when you are constantly monitoring your loved one, you are actually performing instead of being true to yourself. So this performance wasn't the real you. So, which means that even you're being loved by your loved ones, you're not being loved by who you truly are. You're being loved by the mask you put on, by the personality that you put on, which is not you completely. And inside of you, you won't get fully fulfilled, right? Because you're not even being truly authentic to yourself and to your own true feelings. And every time when you swallow something that need to be said, and every time you stay silent so that you think you can keep the peace, so you can avoid the conflicts and tension between two people. And every time when you say yes, but you actually want to say no, or every time when you make yourself smaller to make someone else feel more comfortable, and when you're doing all this, you are abandoning yourself. These are the abandonment wounds speaking out loud. You know, you're abandoning your own truth for fear. And it also causes you your energy, the amount of like internal resources that go into managing this wound is enormous. So it's like you are every day you're using, your energy to monitoring the loved ones around you. You're using your energy to ask for permission, to ask for reassurance, and you constantly feel anxiety inside of yourself. You're performing, you're not being true to yourself. So you can imagine how much of your energy is leaking, is using for this kind of performance instead of being true to yourself. And imagine you use your energy instead for growth, for expansion, for aliveness, and how constructive that this energy of yours can be contributing to you, right? Many people who carry, this wounding, which we all are on some level, that we are exhausted, right? Is a huge amount of our energy is going every single day into managing of this fear of being left, which is like so unconscious on so many levels. And perhaps the deepest cause of all is that the abandonment wound keep you away from fully experience the totality of love itself. Not because love is not available to you, not because is no one choose you, not because nobody loves you. You can see love, you can see people around you that actually care for you, and you really want it. But something always keep you from landing the love completely inside of you. Something always keep you receive the love fully, from trusting it fully, for fully letting the love in. Wow, imagine how painful that can be, right? And I am naming all these costs because the clarity is the beginning of change. And when you become aware of the patterns and what it's actually do to your life, we can start healing from it. Now, I want to make a distinction here because most of what I've just described got labeled in a culture as anxiety attachment or codependency or insecurity. And all this label only describe the surface of the wound. So they didn't actually go deep enough to the core of what is all this pattern actually show up, right? So the distinction I want to make is that the abandoned wound is something that is very specific. Is not just a nervous system patterns that show up, every time when you got triggered, and is not just an attachment style that you got developed, from your lessons and your experience in life, although it's contribute to that, but it's deeper than that. And it's not just a childhood wounding, whereas it can develop, from your childhood and from your all the experience that you accumulate in your life. So the abandonment wound is the deep internalized belief that love is not secure. And it's that belief inside of you that you believe love is conditional and that love can disappear when an external person leave me. And when it disappears, for example, when your parents left you when you're a child, and when one of your partner withdraw, in one of the moments, and when you're feeling like you're not being chosen, like those things feed into this belief that you're not enough, that you're not worthy, that you are at your core alone. So this really hits you, on your survival mechanism, because when all this like scenario, whereas is really minor, very subtle, very small, And all this thing, like trigger your nervous system, like responded to your relationship uncertainty. It's like the way you responded to a physical danger, in your body. Because, to the abandonment wound, to the part of you that actually, like form all this belief, in your childhood, in the earliest chapters, of your life. You have this belief that some part of love is with survival, and connection somehow also link into survival, and being chosen was also hit the level of survival. So it hits something that really beyond, your mental mind or even your emotional body. It's actually hit you, on your survival instinct and your root chakras, right? So for the loss of it, or even the threat of losing something, whether it's attention or actual loved ones, and or some subtle energy that somebody just withdraw. So it's really activate, your body as like a full alarm red flag system. And here is like a pioneering truth that I really want to offer you, is that the abandonment wound is not just personal. So it is not only about your childhood, your parents, or any of your past relationship. The abandonment wound is the core wound of humanity. So we all carry it in some way, whether you're consciously knowing it or not. And by understanding it and putting in the service and have conversation around it, and actually digging really deep, to see where is it actually coming from, it is what makes the healing possible. So what becomes possible when you heal from the abandonment wound is that you will feel a sense of groundedness rather than fear in all areas of your life. And when you enter into a relationship, it will feel like you have more curiosity and safety, rather than constantly feeling on guard all the time. And you will become more authentic, in conversation and how you show up in life. And authenticity is just charming, is magnetic. Um, and authenticity also build it's the foundation to build genuine connection that actually fulfill you. And in love and relationship, you will stop searching for reassurance. You will stop people please, because you discover that the love you were searching for outside of yourself the whole time was never actually outside of you. The love was always here in your own heart. So you will feel this enormous love, within yourself, that is not coming from external person or external source. It's coming from your aliveness, of being alive, itself. So it's like this feeling of being like finally feeling alive and free, instead of living in a box that is full of condition and fears and walking on eggshell. And I'm very fascinated, with this topic, because the abandonment wound brought me to my knees so many times. It's a huge part of my own personal healing journey. And it was so profound that it's asked me for things and the part of me that I didn't know I was capable of. And in the end, brought me straight to home, brought me straight to my authentic self. It has also brought me back to love, brought me back to God. And I really hope, this series of the Abandonment Wound will does the same things to you. And here's some inquiries that I want to leave you with today. And I want you to either write it down or pause it, in between to really tune into yourself and ask yourself this question. Because this question is open up a doorway for you to really understanding this energy of love and understanding who you are, at the core. I want to ask you, what if love is not something that is outside of you? And what if love is not something that another person holds and can give and withdraw anytime? And what if love that you have been desperately searching for in relationship, in other people reassurance, and in the eyes of your parents or your friends or your loved one, that you hope that they will finally choose you and stay. But what if those love that you're searching for was here, inside of you the whole time? And what is love is not something you find? What is love is who you truly are. This question are the beginnings of your healing. And this question are the beginning of your homecoming. And we will go all the way into different layers of abandonment wound and how you can heal from it across the series that you will see is coming. If you resonate with this video, I invite you to watch the part 2 of this series. So in the next video, we are going to the root of the abandonment wound. So we're going to dive deep into the 3 hidden layers of where the abandonment wound actually come from. So we're going to dive deep into your personal history, your ancestral line, and the deeper, subtle dimension of your soul. And I will put the link of the video in the description below. My name is Yennis. In this channel, we explore the deep healing of the heart, esoteric teaching, and the mystery of using heartbreak as a part of awakening. If you like this video, please like, share it with someone that you think that they will benefit from it, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my content. And I would also love to hear from you in the comment section below that what pattern did you recognize in yourself and what challenges that you're facing on your healing journey right now. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.